looks like you're ready. Click here to start streaming. Go live. All right, so this means we're recording. There we go.
There's Susan. Hi, Susan.
There's Susan. Hey.
Hi.
All right, I'm going to start the recorder on this. Record.
Rebecca.
All right, so we are now live and we're being recorded.
Tiffany's here.
And Russ, I'm having a little trouble hearing you. You're
Can you hear me now?
better, yes.
Okay, great.
All right.
Let's get started because I was given a script.
Oh, Tiffany's here. Hi, Tiffany.
Here.
Yes, let's go ahead and read our script and then convene.
Okay, this is from the city of Edina that wants a formal kickoff to every commission meeting. So welcome to the January 28th, 2021 meeting of the Arts and Culture Commission. This meeting is being held electronically to comply with the Governor's Stay Safe Minnesota order and to ensure the safety of all residents and staff. All members of the commission and staff are participating from their homes or offices. For members of the commission, please remember to mute your microphone when you are not speaking and raise your hand if you would like to speak. We ask that you do not use the chat function in Webex as we meet unless you are having technology problems. We will have roll call votes for each motion this afternoon as well as for adjournment. I'll ask Susan Tarnowski to call roll after each motion. I will repeat the motion for the record before we vote, and we'll also repeat who made the motion and seconded. We have a busy agenda, so please remember those watching, listening in, and your fellow commissioners, and let's stay on topic. And before we begin, there are a few things I'd like to cover for those listening in or watching online. The public had two ways to view the meeting this afternoon. They can watch the live stream on the city's YouTube channel or listen via phone using the Webex call-in number. There is no community comment during the meeting today. The city is committed to hearing and receiving your input on matters. The public can send in comments to the City Council or to the Commission through the Council Correspondence web forum on our website. The recording of the meeting will also be available to watch on the city's website tomorrow. Go to the Watch a Meeting link under the I Want to tab on the home page. Thanks in advance for your patience as we work to conduct this meeting online using different software types and people all participating from their own homes. We hope there will not be any issues, but please be assured that we will do our best to continue the meeting as best we can if there are glitches. Thank you to everyone tuning in this afternoon for your interest in the commission and our work in the city. And I just would like to add two extra points to the script before we take the roll call. Is that we know that Lauren Piella, student commissioner, will not be joining us today due to a conflict. And I also want to share the news that I literally received less than an hour ago that Commissioner Hannah Klein has resigned from the commission, and unfortunately, and just want to add that we owe a lot of thanks to Hannah for everything she has done and her leadership on the public art area. So please join me in when you see her next and thank her for everything that she's done for the commission. So with that, let's get to the formal agenda. So call to order, and I'll ask Susan Tarnowski to take the roll, please.
All right, thank you. And you can unmute to respond. Commissioners, Chandler?
Aye.
DiLorenzo?
Aye.
Isaacs?
Aye.
Klein is resigned. Conkamala?
Aye.
Sure, yeah. This is here. Peggy Martin?
Aye.
Michelle Morgan Nelson? Here. Lauren is not here today. Ruben?
Here.
Shen?
Here.
And Sorensen?
She should be here.
He should
But
be
not
here.
yet.
All right, and Suko.
Here.
All right, thank you.
Okay. I'm sure Rebecca will be here shortly. Okay, the meeting agenda was posted on the website, the City of Edina government website per requirement. So I'd like to ask for for somebody to make a motion to accept the meeting agenda.
I move to accept. It's Chandler.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you.
I'll second.
That was Lynn's Chairman, Commissioner Di Lorenzo seconded.
Thank you.
Any comments or questions? Hearing none. Susan Tarnowski, will you call the roll for approval of the meeting agenda?
Thanks, Russ. Yes, again, Commissioners, Chandler,
Aye.
DiLorenzo,
Aye.
Isaacs,
Aye.
Conkamala,
Aye.
Martin,
Aye.
Morgan Nelson,
Aye.
Ruben,
Aye.
Shen,
Aye.
Sorensen,
Not present yet.
and Suko.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Okay, the motion to accept the agenda is approved. Thank you, everybody. Now it's time to look at and review the minutes. Hopefully you've all reviewed them before today's session. So I'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting of December 17th. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Who said that?
Peggy.
Thank you,
Peggy.
Peggy.
Commissioner Martin, place the motion. Anyone second, please?
I'll second. Oh.
Commissioner Di Lorenzo, second. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
bravery. Any comments, questions, concerns about for last month's meeting minutes? I think they were pretty accurate. Okay, hearing no comments or questions. Susan Tarnowski, could you please take the roll on that?
I will, thank you. Commissioners, Chandler,
Aye.
DiLorenzo,
Aye.
Isaac,
Aye.
Conkamala,
Aye.
Martin,
Aye.
Morgan Nelson,
Aye.
Ruben,
Aye.
Shen,
She said aye.
okay, Sorensen, not yet, and Suko.
Aye.
All right, thank you. And I will quickly see if Rebecca is in a lobby or doing something else while we begin our meeting, if that's
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, yeah, her link, oh, she wants it sent again.
All right, I can do that. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Very good. Let me just ask, is everybody well and healthy?
Good question.
I mean, that in today's environment, that's absolutely huge. I'm pleased to say that I got my shot through Alina earlier this week, and I hope that you all soon can start that process. I was the Pfizer, and I had no side effects whatsoever.
That's
Uh,
great.
Yeah, no, I appreciate
And
it.
what day did you get it, Russ?
I got it on Monday. No, on Tuesday. Yes, yeah, Tuesday. Sorry. Today's
Wonderful.
Thursday. Yeah. Yeah,
Glad to
and
hear.
yeah, it was well run and everything worked very well. Okay, we have, I mean, I have to tell you, there's just been some fabulous work done by everybody, just amazing. And I think today is going to be largely about reviewing the work that has been done and is planned for the immediate future, and then talk about some of the other things that we have going on in the very near future. So the first point is an update on the virtual interactive arts gallery that Shreya and Lindsay have been so amazingly working on. So I'm going to ask the two of you and whomever else you want to, if there's anybody else, to please take us through what's been going on. Ray or Lindsay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shreya, off to you.
Okay. So we're working with Mosaic and we're making progress. We've had our tech team meet with MJ to talk about the website platform, and we've had some planning
Shreya,
to see.
can I stop you? Can you take a, just so
Yeah.
our memories are so bad, tell us kind of the big picture, what you're doing, what the goals and objectives are, and then where you stand today, because I think that would really help set the stage.
Yeah, so I'm talking about the virtual gallery that we're working on. So
The
do
theme of
you
that
want
is?
me? Yeah, the theme of struggling to healing, and we're hoping to get community artists and community art on our virtual gallery so that we can celebrate our community through art in a safe way. So we're doing that virtually. And as of last time, I think we were talking about developing the website. And so in our Mosaic team, we have 3 teams. We have a communications team, a team focused on tech, so mostly on the website, and a submissions team. And we've had our tech team meet with MJ to discuss the website platform, and that went really well. And so that development is continuing to happen. And our tech lead right now is Yash, a student from Mosaic. And then I know Lindsay has put some stuff together for communications. And so we will be communicating that with the communications team. And we do have a communications lead his name's Sabi. And we're working on a development of a logo. Sabi has sent his prototypes for his logo to the city, and I think he's working with them right now to figure that out. And I'm trying to think what else. Lindsay, is there something else I should be covering?
No, that was a great rundown. It's all happening. And I guess as far as just a quick timeline is that we're hoping to have the website live by next week and get the ball rolling. I think with the Amanda Gorman amazing performance at the inauguration, I'm hoping that really inspires some spoken word and kind of different forms of art that we're trying to encourage. So I think we're going to try to make sure that comes out in our communication, that it's not just defined by two-dimensional work. Of course, we welcome that and celebrate that too, but we'd love to see a variety of different forms. So, and I have been in touch with Rebecca about their activity boxes and using our theme to promote those in the next few months. And so when she joins, I'm sure she can give us an update on that. But yeah, MJ and the communications and tech team at the city have been wonderful in getting this all live and actually happening. So we're really excited.
Amazing.
And maybe just a reminder that the platform is better together. And there was some, I'll turn this back over to Shreya. There was some discretion in terms of how the tech team was able to ask for kind of layout and configuration. You want to talk just a little bit about that?
In regards to what the tech team is thinking about for the website, or
just the fact that they had some choices, I think, in how.
There were some choices in terms of the setup of the website itself. So I think the tech team's going to work a little bit on how exactly they want to see the layout and work on different sections of the website, like someone working on the section of like about the gallery page and someone working on the timeline page. So we are going to be assigning those roles.
And I'll just add, Yash worked on a virtual gallery for the Student Senate last spring. And so he's given us access to that artwork so we can start with some original art from the get-go with those. And there's some that are very applicable because they're from 2020. So that would transfer and we have the rights to use those, which is really exciting. So we have some, to kick that off next week when we go live.
That's super. That is super.
what can we do to help? Is there anything?
As of right now, Russ, I mean, I think we're in good shape. Now, like anything, everything changes day to day. But for right now, I think we're good. What do you think, Shreya?
I agree. I don't think we need anything right now, but thank
How,
you.
how about from, can we help bring attention?
We will. We're right now. The city is drafting a press release that the Mosaic Communications team is going to approve. So I think once we have links to that, and when like Shreya mentioned, Sabi's putting together a logo and working with the city on brand guidelines and things like that. We can. Well, I'm sure we'll have a link or one pager that we can distribute to the commission, and the commissioners can send out to their network. Would be great.
Yeah, I think we all should take responsibility for forwarding and reposting and retweeting everything that you have, so we can multiply the attention that this deserves.
Yeah, that would be great. And sending out, I mean, we're really trying, we do say, the artists, if they have some connection to Edina, but it's a very, very, very loose definition. So if you know people that have some connection to Edina, but they live in Wyoming right now, that would be fantastic. Or,
Sure.
whatever it is. So we're not at all restricted to the borders of the town.
Is there a time limit to how long this will be up and run?
Right now, the website says December 3rd of 2021. But I think we're just going to keep it fluid from my understanding. So I think we'll work on that. But I think it will be dependent on how many submissions come in. And I think that might ebb and flow a bit. But
And people will be able to add submissions over the course of the year.
Mhm.
Because I think you'll bring attention and people want to participate.
Agreed.
Cool. Any other questions, guys, for Lindsay or Shreya? Oh, just amazing. How long have we been talking about this for? I
Yeah.
mean, it's great to see it.
Yeah, it's nice to actually have something live, or it's actually happening. It's exciting.
Congratulations.
That's
Well,
great.
thank you all.
Yeah, make sure we all know the minute it's up and running.
Absolutely.
That'll be fun.
Absolutely.
So I have a request. If someone else could try and send that link again.
I did.
Rebecca doesn't seem to be getting it.
I sent mine.
You
I
sent
sent
it
mine
too?
to her.
Okay.
She'll
All
be
right.
invisible like Steve, but I
Yeah.
I hope. I don't know. This is
Yeah.
a challenging Webex format.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've sent it as well. So
The
okay.
only Russ, the only thing I could suggest is if she's re-entering her email address, that might not be why. I introduced myself, but I left your email address. So I don't know if she's done that, but that was, since I was not authorized, I sent you the picture. I was not authorized to join the meeting as a panelist. I couldn't get in with my email address.
Bear with me.
all right.
Okay. Let's talk. Let's skip over to. Well, no, there's nowhere to skip over to.
Yep.
So, item B, the work plan initiative on number 3. Rebecca has done a decent amount of legwork on this already about working with, and if we drag out initiative number 3 on this year's 2021 work plan, is to study and report on potential incentives or procedures to include art and decor elements when opportunities arise in public and commercial projects. So what that really means, similarly, Pentagon Park, now Pentagon Village, I think it's called, part of their requirement to the developer was to set aside a certain amount of money to develop and then construct public art that met the needs of the various constituencies of the development. Constituencies meant the city, meant the people who would work and live and eat there whenever restaurants open up, and neighbors, anybody that it could potentially touch. There was a really amazing process driven by Forecast and hired an artist. Has anybody seen the art there yet? I have not.
I think I forwarded you a video that Scott Denfield does. That was just
Yeah, I have.
fabulous.
Right. I mean, it looks great. I haven't seen it. Should see it. Anyway, it was a great process, and the question is, how do we bring that process or another kind of process to bear on major developments like that in the future? And those of us who read the Sun Current and the Edina newsletters, there's a lot going on here in the city that
That's
could
right.
benefit from that kind of work. Um,
Mhm.
Rebecca has spoken to some of the key people in the council and in the planning commission to start that process and actually to define what the process could be or might be.
And if you remember, our original idea was that we would submit a recommendation to the Planning Council, and our recommendation, probably very rightly, goes to the council at the end of the year.
Right.
But I don't think that means that we can't continue to talk to the Planning Commission about what their intentions are and how they would want to partner with us.
Right. So if we can engage with the planning commission and figure out a way that they think would work for them, then we can propose to the council what that process or procedure might be. But
Right.
there's just an incredible amount of big scale development going on in the city right now. And what's
And
interesting,
I will say that I have not had a chance to have this meeting, but we've been approached by the new executive director of Forecast Art, whose name is Jackie Liu, for a meeting to do much the same kind of thing that we did with Pentagon Park or Pentagon Village, and to serve as a consultancy as they consider public art in a development down, I believe, the 70th and France area. So I was hoping to have a little bit more information by this meeting, but we still are going to talk this week. So that could be very interesting. And I think, Russ, you thought that was a really well-run process when you went through that.
Terrific, absolutely. And so, it would be great to get some volunteers from you guys to participate in that process and represent the commission when it comes, if and when it comes to that.
Yeah,
So,
super.
yeah, I'm sorry Rebecca's not here because she's really done 98.7% of all the legwork on this. So
I have an idea. She's not responding right now. I have an idea that if I call her on my cell phone, perhaps we can just get her voice recording over here.
okay.
So give me a minute to try and do
Very
that.
high tech.
Well, I guess maybe Rebecca knows this or found this out. I mean, does the city require some component of, I mean, is there anything that we bring up as of yet when we look at developments, we being the city?
I don't think so. I think it's a case by case situation and what's negotiated with the developer.
I think developers, or the owner is leading that in a lot of ways. But there could be this feedback loop with the city, or if a city like Edina makes a statement to say, this is important to us, as we, evaluate developments, I'm sure Edina makes clear we're looking in terms of equitable lens, things like that the city has now layered on over the years. This maybe could be one layer.
Absolutely.
It might be, key language that the city shares or a statement that the city has made so that developers know too, that owners that, people, if they haven't figured out that it's a good thing in general, they can, the city kind of is letting them know that the city values that as well.
Yeah.
And I think that was our hope, was to provide some language that would guide city and planning to continue to consider art as they move through a variety of developments. So I think it's a I think it's a good initiative.
Yeah. Any other thoughts or comments on that? No, it'd be a great move forward. And there's just been a lot of press lately about St. Louis Park and other communities in the area and their public art and what they're doing to build it into the fabric of all the development going on in those communities. So this would be really a great step forward. You know, I think it might be worth actually to just remind ourselves what our initiatives are for the year. So
Sure.
so initiative 1 is implement at least one event in year 1 of the Edina Public Art Plan, Art and Healing Virtual Art Gallery. We are well on our way to meeting that and doing that. This one has Heather and my name on it, but Heather's going to be stepping down soon. So conduct an evaluation for the public art event. The first initiative we mentioned, this evaluation will inform the commission on a possible second public art event. I'll reach out to some of you to replace Heather as we move forward on that. I would definitely appreciate some assistance on that. Incentive 3, we've talked about. Incentive 4, initiative 4, as a new art space is pursued, the commission will provide community perspective to the planning process. And we're going to wait for city staff to approach us really on that one to make sure that we play an active role when that does get moving forward. So, you know, clearly public art is where the action is for this year, for the remainder of this year. And we've got a lot of great momentum on that. So.
Well, I can fill you in on a couple of the things that Rebecca would talk about. I've resent the link once more, so maybe she will be able to click on that. As Lindsay said, Rebecca has been talking with Lindsay about the Rectivity boxes, and we talked a little bit to the Park and Recreation's Assistant Director, Tracy, who is amenable to ideas that we could have that would align a Rectivity box with our project. There's also, Rebecca sits on the Education Foundation board, and so there is also an interest on the part of that fund to think about ways to enhance mental health for students as they've gone through the kind of the upheaval of the year in so many ways. And there may be simply some wonderful connections. I believe she spoke with the director last night, some wonderful connections between art making and art making with a purpose or with a story and the mental health efforts that they are choosing to focus their time and money on at this point. I think they're excited without having a very specific idea. I think they're excited about continuing to talk about that. So there may be a way of tying things together with several community partners. I think we have talked about using a Rectivity box with kind of traditional art, maybe canvases or art boards, and taking some directions. They usually have instructions in, taking some of the language from the mission statement that Shreya and Lindsay had developed and we looked at as part of the whole plan last time, and helping students to formulate ideas about what they might produce in this box, and then having them take photographs of it and post it to us for consideration for the gallery. We also we're so excited about the high school, and we talked last month about perhaps involving middle school, but not necessarily, we haven't kind of gotten to the point of talking about elementary students yet. So Rebecca and I chatted this morning, and I sent an invitation for an expression of interest on the part of the art teacher at Cornelia, who's been the focus art person in our sculpture contest, our children's sculpture contest in the last 2 years. More than anything, just to perhaps advise and consult on how to make this applicable for younger students, and perhaps to get our teachers in the schools, now that younger students are going back in person, our teachers in the schools involved. So we'll see if she has any interest in that.
Susan, sorry, is it okay if I interrupt for just 1 second?
Absolutely.
We do have, there are students on Mosaic that are actually getting in touch with all the art teachers in Edina.
Wonderful.
So we've kind of got that covered.
That's great. I'm so glad about that. That's just super. So just I think a lot of ways of bringing people and groups together, but also a way of using their networks for publicizing and marketing what it's being done by the commission.
Terrific. Thank you, Susan.
Sure.
Point C on the reports and recommendations was commission chair, vice chair, and member selection. As you may know or don't know, terms end in February for those who are term limited. That includes Heather, who is going to be leaving us after February.
So we're going to celebrate her next month.
Yeah, we're going to have a
And
virtual
thank her.
celebration. Then for chair and vice chair, I am termed out as chair. I know you're all so disappointed. And we need a new chair. Just to, for full transparency, I've spoken to a few people on the commission, and I'm hoping that Rebecca will assume that position. I've talked to a few others about vice chair. Peggy, I know that you're still thinking about it. If not, I've said to Rebecca, assuming that she will continue to show interest in that position, I would serve as vice chair for at least 1 year to help her. I certainly don't need to help her in terms of movement and energy and getting things done, but really more on the procedural stuff.
And Russ, I think we want you to receive any expressions of interest beyond that as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Rebecca, are you there?
She just sent a note saying her system just crashed. And
Can you hear
she'll be
me?
back.
You can hear-
We hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. This has just been a
We
nightmare.
hear you.
My teenage daughter is trying to get me squared away here. I have no idea. This has never happened on my computer before, but my computer's been in the hands of some small children, so it's possible they just dismantle things here. I don't know, but anyway, I can hear you and I can see you.
All right.
Really?
We
Okay.
can hear you and your name is up, so that's pretty good.
Okay, good. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. So Rebecca, I did just a little bit of a summary of some of the things that you've been working on. Kind of Reactivity Box, connections with the Edina education folks. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Just that I was thrilled to be in discussion with you, with Lindsay, about sort of where things are. I heard some of the call when I jumped on earlier about where things stand with the project and the exciting momentum and movement forward. I think that, just to echo what you said, we're just trying to sort of amplify what Mosaic is trying to do with this, and find ways that we can reach out to the community with the Reactivity boxes. If there's sort of another way that we can help in that effort. But I'm really excited. Lauren and I are going to talk next week. Did you share even just the ideas that we had about working with an art teacher on sort of identifying the right materials? I think one of the things we're trying to do is make this Reactivity box another way to communicate about the Mosaic project to the community members, with using the statement that Lindsay shared with me that sort of really spells out what we're accomplishing in this From Struggling to Healing, and maybe breaking that down even further so that maybe younger audiences can access what this is about and submit as well. So just sort of, again, another communication tool in the community. We're just trying to make sure we get the the messaging correct, and if possible, make it a box that can share sort of traditional medium like painting and drawing, but is there also another way the box could incorporate sort of ideas that a family could explore, like is it, you know, a poetry or spoken word or dance, or letting people know how all-encompassing this project is. So I think, you know, we're just kind of fine-tuning sort of ideas about what the box looks like, figuring out if we want to engage with community partners in terms of subsidizing the boxes. I don't know if I didn't realize the boxes are $35. And so kind of looking at, is there a way to have boxes available that would be donated to community members that want to participate, students, for example, that want to participate and don't want to spend $35. So ways to just make it accessible as well. So, you know, we're excited to partner and to just make sure it amplifies what Mosaic is sending, the message Mosaic is sending about the public art. So,
Right. That's super. Thank you. Do anybody have questions on any of the other possible connections that kind of have been mentioned? I think our main goal is to get our gallery exhibition up, running, live, taking submissions. That's our main goal. But there may be ways just to help more people in the community know about it as we do some of these other things.
Well, oh, sorry, Russ.
No, go ahead. No, please.
I just say, just to chime in on that, I think what's nice about this project, like I mentioned before, is the fluidity. And so I don't think we need to jump out of the gate with all our community partners, because
Right.
as things kind of grow organically, and I think there'll be nice moments when we want to have a second, third, fourth communication push, and we can do that in different ways. So I feel good
Super.
about like not signing up everyone, from the get-go, because there'll
Right.
be
Sure.
plenty of time to do that too.
I
One
think so,
question
too.
I just wanted to ask, I know you were talking, I missed a whole chunk of the conversation around just the launch and communicating about the launch. I wondered, like the way Mosaic promoted the Story Slam submission process last year, have you put together just an internal release that would go to the Edina Public School communication channel? Because I thought that was probably a helpful tool when when Mosaic was going for submissions for the Story Slam. In that same vein, would you do that with the virtual gallery?
Yep, that's all part of our communications plan. So the city's working on a press release right now per their guidelines, and then the Mosaic students are reviewing that, and they'll go through their channels, in addition to, Rebecca, what you said, like the In the Know and the high school newsletter and all the school newsletters, and all the other community, like social media, traditional media, it'll all be covered.
Can you tell us when the date is for that, so we have an idea?
I don't have an exact date right now, but I will let you all know.
Okay.
Just waiting to hear back from the city is what we're at right now.
And then
Terrific.
did you hear the potential timeline that we talked about for the Reactivity boxes? I don't know if that was brought up on the call yet.
I did not say anything about that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give your ideas.
Yeah, sure. So we just, again, to kind of be in sync with your call for submissions and timeline, we were looking at potentially mid to late February, with sort of the idea that people could submit. Actually kind of looks like the same timeline as when Mosaic did the story submissions, except we were thinking, until kind of right before spring break, but we didn't know, is that kind of when you were thinking? I mean, we're just sort of, again, trying to hop on kind of your timeline and making sure that these boxes are available to the community members that want to participate in a timely fashion. So does that sound about?
That sounds great. And kind of like I said, I mean, it can be open and fluid. So if for whatever reason it got pushed back, I think kind of any timeline works. But we're hoping to be live on the website next week. So I think it's just open. Thank you, Rebecca. That sounds great.
Sure. Okay, great.
Question. Will there be a way for people to provide comments on what they're seeing and the reactions? Trey, you're shaking your head. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there should be a way for them to comment on like individual posts within the virtual gallery.
Good, good. Do we collect any contact information or is it all left anonymously?
So from my understanding, there's ways that you can there's some controls of that. I know MJ was talking about that. I believe we can make it so if people want to comment, we make it a requirement that they sign up with the Better Together platform, which is just like, I think, or with the, I don't know what exactly it would be called, but they would just have to sign up, which would require their email, I think, and just like setting up a quick account, and then they can comment so as not to have like just anonymous comments.
Yeah, because thinking through the evaluation as we go through this, that would be really helpful if we, were able to capture that kind of information.
Right.
Terrific, wonderful, excellent.
And actually, Russ, you bring up a good point. I was looking back again on our work plan that you just walked us through. Just the idea of thinking through the process we're using right now and figuring out even at this point what that assessment of it might look like, because we're asked to assess our first project before we move on to something else.
Right.
So I'm not sure if we want to call Reactivity Boxes a second project, or if that's all part of this project that will all be assessed. But as we work through our work plan, I think those kind of conversations will need to happen.
Okay, good.
For the virtual gallery itself, I think some of that can be easy by just tracking engagement and site clicks and stuff, which is nice. So
absolutely.
Yeah, so whatever we can build up as a supporting story to present to the council and to Susan's superiors is to our advantage, and show that it's working and engaging. And people like it.
Yep.
Provoked by
Oh, I know one thing, Rebecca. You were talking a little bit about potential for Edina Magazine.
Yes. I just floated, I'm on the editorial board, and we talked a little bit about, I shared the statement about the project and asked if there might be an opportunity. They were very excited about covering it. They looked at potentially, they're doing an education issue. Now that's in August, so it's a little bit later. But they were going to try to see if there's a way that they kind of cover events on their website too, so they could certainly share the press release and things like that when it's ready. But in terms of a more in-depth story, for their August education issue, they said that they would love to consider it. So by then we'll have more of a story to tell. I think we'll need to know and have something ready to share with them by April. So, images from the virtual gallery, an interview with you, Shreya, figuring out, talking to Lindsay about, Lindsay and Shreya about who else would make sense to be in the story, but they'd love to cover it.
Nice.
Great, thank you.
that sounds really cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Excellent. This is exciting, guys. This is really, really good.
It is.
Really
It
good.
is. It's very exciting.
Yeah. I wish we were in person so we could hug each other and say great job and really wonderful. Okay. Anybody else, move to next point, chair and member comments, anything else that anybody wants to raise or discuss?
I'll just finish the conversation around our letter C. The February meeting is the meeting that we vote for chair and vice chair. And those terms will begin in March. So that will be a vote for an action vote for next time.
And I should add too that there's interviews taking place right about now for new commissioners for all the commissions in the city. Right. Susan, I don't think we don't have any participation in we were offered interview participation, but it's really time consuming.
Yep. So the chairs are the mayor and I don't know if they're the chairs. The mayor and Carolyn, our new council person, will serve on that interview team from the city standpoint.
When does that interview cycle, when does that happen?
I believe one starts tomorrow, and
There were like 4 times,
yeah, and then
slots.
meets, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't interview for a particular. They don't say now's the day we're going to do human rights relations. They interview them as they come in, and then parse them out into the commissions that might make sense.
Great.
We will know that in time for our next meeting, I believe, because we did invite Lindsay, you and Rebecca did come to our February meeting as not as members, but as appointed for the next month members,
Right,
I believe,
you're
last year.
observers, yeah.
Yeah.
And look how successful that process was last year.
Yeah, no
We
kidding.
got Lindsay and Rebecca. Holy moly, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Very good. Any other comments from other commissioners? Otherwise, I'd like to ask Susan just to fill us in on what's going on in her world.
I'll wait for other.
Well, first of all, before we turn it over to you, we haven't seen you since the passing of your mother. So I just want to, on behalf of the entire commission and myself personally, you've had a really, really hard period. So thank you for being here and you were supposed to have surgery that you've delayed.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. So we had a park and recreation meeting today, and there is a lot going on. There is a lot going on, from workshops to activities to renovations in buildings, not this building, but a lot of others. The senior center had, I believe, guests come for the first time this week. It was renovated by Hennepin County, not the city, but we have taught our first painting class there, a watercolor class, and which we have traditionally done, but now it's really a beautiful room over there. The assistant manager of Centennial Lakes is talking about wanting to do some pop-up art boxes in Centennial Lakes, arts and crafts. It's a wonderful idea. There are a couple of Rectivity boxes going out right now through Parks and Recs. One, I believe, is a Valentine's box. Heard a lot about the success of golf and the Golf Dome, and starting to reschedule people in the skating rinks, and Edinburgh, and planning for the Aquatic Center to open this summer. Hopefully, health and safety will allow us to do that. So there's a lot happening. It feels like it's moving after many months of people just wondering what we can and can't do. So it's kind of exciting. City Hall is being renovated. No one is back working regularly in City Hall, so it's a good time to do that. So when we are finally open to the public, people will see some new improvements there. A really nice climate-related thing, if you haven't been to City Hall, electric cars have their own spots and plugins now, so it's really focus on doing something to work on the environment, which is super. I think that's about it.
Any discussion on an art center?
I am meeting tomorrow with Perry and Tracy. I don't know what their thinking is yet. I will know that a little bit more tomorrow.
And what's your summer programs looking like now?
We planned for almost a normal, if that makes any sense nowadays, summer. So we are going to run children's camps, youth camps. Right now we're planning on running them out of the terrace room in Arneson Park, which is kind of nice because it's got great access to the outdoors as well. And we've changed it up a little, whereas we used to do multiple, 2 camps a day, 2.5 hours. As we thought about trying to sanitize and air out a room and so on, we've gone to 1 camp a day for 5 days a week from 9 to 1. with a snack break in the middle that hopefully can be taken outside, and being able then to sanitize that room, clear everything out, clean things before youth come back the next day. We're offering a series of workshops, kind of fun things, everything from polymer clay necklaces to acrylic pours and so on, as a Wednesday night series, kind of maybe even a date night series if people want to think of it that way, a Tuesday night series, and those will come out of the senior center. We've invited our youth tech partners to come back and do work with game design and web design and graphic design. I'm not sure where they're going to be yet, but hopefully that's happening. So the only thing, we've just had beginning conversations about what we might do with pottery, but absolutely no decisions made on that at this point. So I'm hoping we are healthy and safe enough to be able to hold those things that are planned for the summer. The directory of activities for all of Park and Recs, including the Art Center, should be in homes, I think, mid-February. It's at the printer now, so you can see the range of things that have been planned.
Thank you. Last question. Any news on inventory and maintenance of our existing public art?
A conversation with Carrie where we really talked about making that a priority for Park and Rec. And there is I don't know if this will be something that happens, but there is an intern that's working with our forester. You met when we were looking at the possible carving of the tree outside City Hall. And it could be that we could ask this person to do an additional inventory and see if there are additional things that are in need of repair. So I think maybe not when it's 8 degrees, but I think that will become a high priority for the staff.
Anybody else have comments or questions for Susan? Okay, thank you. All right.
A lot,
Okay.
you know, in the middle of a really challenging year, there's a lot of
Yeah.
really wonderful things happening.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. Students, Shreya and Tiffany, what's your situation? Are you in school? Is it all remote? What's going on these days?
We're still remote, and it's projected that school will start on February 16th, I think, is when they're planning on opening up again for a hybrid situation. So then I might go hybrid. I'm not sure how that's going to work, depending on cases.
Tiffany, what's your situation?
I mean, same thing, but I did choose hybrid, so I'll be going back if we do end up going back. Not sure if we will though, because it isn't official yet. But yeah.
Wow. Well, you guys have had some major disruptions too.
Yeah, you guys are our heroes. You and your teachers.
Just tremendous. Thanks for being part of the commission during such a crazy time.
You know what, Russ, I could do another quick update on the Fall into the Arts Festival. That team has been meeting and has determined that the wisest course of action is what we're now calling a boutique fair. So it will be smaller, it will be in a more constrained geographic area. We're planning for distancing for both participants and the artists in the booths. Perhaps a smaller number of food trucks. So I think that the idea was just to make sure there's a quality fair and that we're able to do it this year. And it might just simply have to be smaller. Our call to artists will go out on Monday. The letters to our sponsors and vendors are going out today or tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. So we're moving ahead with that. That is the 11th and 12th of September. The Edina Art Fair has moved its event to August in hopes that the world is a little safer in August than it would have been in June. And before the next meeting of that group, I'm going to kind of do a survey. I understand Uptown is also going to go smaller. Edina will go smaller. So I'll just have a little bit of an update about our regular, I guess, participants in the fair scene in the metro area.
Very good. Thank you. Okay.
Russ, it's Rebecca. Sorry.
Sure.
So weird not to have a camera on. I'm sorry. One question. Did you already talk about Initiative 3? I
Yes.
wasn't here for that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said you've been doing all this work. Been
Well,
talking to all these
yeah.
people.
No, it's great. One quick thing I wanted to mention is that the planning commissioners I've been talking to have said that when proposals have come before the city, they're now mentioning that they're going to add public art to their project because they believe that that's what the city wants to hear from them. So what I want to do is try to formalize that relationship between public art and the city so that that's not just kind of lip speak, but that's lip service, but that's actually something that we're really pushing, especially because we're seeing, I mean, it's actually kind of a little bit controversial. There's so many projects coming before the city now. I know the Planning Commission is slammed, but they really like the idea of, just cementing that idea that if a give to get kind of situation where public art is front and center when some of these proposals come on their desks. So, and I put a call out too to our 2 new city councilors to start to talk to them about it as well. So.
Well, let me know what I can do to participate in that, Rebecca.
That'd be great.
And then, yeah, I mean, a year ago, I spoke to the Planning Commission to introduce this idea, and the feedback was really positive too. And I think we have a great role model with what we do with Pentagon Village. So, yeah, this is terrific. I mean, it can have a big effect on the city.
Yeah, and again, it's just something that the perception is that that's what the city wants to hear when developers bring proposals. So that is coming across, and now it's sort of just acting on it more. So
terrific.
Okay, great.
Thanks.
Okay.
You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing.
I think that we can adjourn this meeting. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Any of our invisible?
I'll move to adjourn.
Lindsay, Commissioner, thank you. Any seconds?
I'll second.
That was Susan.
Rebecca seconded.
Oh, it's Rebecca. Sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. All of those. Oh, you want to do a roll on this one, don't you?
I do, but I wanted to share with you. I just got a message, I believe Russ, you did too, from Peggy Martin. She said, I wanted to let you know that I have to jump off early.
Oh.
My mom passed away over the weekend.
Oh, no.
So I'm juggling a lot of things. She said, I'm so happy to hear about the progress of the last month, and I'll touch base soon. If you need to move it, well, that's just an extra one. So our condolences to Peggy on the loss of her mom as well.
Okay. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
But I'm happy to call the roll on for this motion. So Commissioners Chandler, DiLorenzo.
Aye.
Isaacs.
Aye.
Conkamala.
Aye.
Martin has not been on this one. Morgan Nelson.
Aye.
Ruben.
Aye.
Chen.
Aye.
Sorensen.
Aye.
And Suko.
All right, everyone. Thank you. Stay safe. Be well.
All right. Thank you for all your work. So much appreciated.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.